How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Strictly Nintendo podcast where we are going to talk about the Pinball Arcade brought to the Nintendo eShop by Farsight Studios. I am a huge pinball fan. I've loved it since the time I was a little kid, always played them every chance I got when we were in the arcade, and I would love to have pinball machines in my house. Unfortunately, crap ones will cost you 700 to 1,000 plus. And to get the good stuff, you're going to be in at 3,500 to $10,000. So that's something that's not going to happen anytime soon. But this game is the next best thing. You have replicas, faithful replicas from Stern, Bally, Williams, Gottlieb, a ton of great machines. They really give you that feel of being in the arcade. The graphics are great. The sound quality is great. They even almost, it really seems like they get down the physics of the tables. I mean, not necessarily, like each individual table, but for instance, I've actually played the Terminator 2 Judgment Day pinball machine in real life, and I have it on this game, and it plays like a Williams table. The paddle levers are a little bit more sluggish. They don't have quite the power that a Bally table has, and it's a little sluggish on the incline where the ball has a little bit more resistance, so it has a different play feel to it versus like a Bally or a Stern. And Bally are honestly my favorite tables. I think they have like all the great classic ones, like my personal favorite, the Elvira and the Party Monsters. I have always loved Elvira, and I've always loved the Elvira pinball machines. And this one was, once I saw it in the library, I knew I had to get it. So it was the first table that I purchased for this. And that's the cool thing about this. This is a free to download game. It comes with one table, and then you just buy the individual tables you want, or you can buy them all in a season pack. There are a ton of tables to choose from. You have standard tables, you have some pro version of tables, and you have upgrades for those tables. So if you have one of the tables that has a pro version, you can get the upgrade to the pro version. Honestly, it's cheaper just to buy the pro version table outright. But there are 6 full pages of DLC for this game in the eShop. Just a ton of stuff to choose from, and it's really cool. And what's best is you can actually play a trial version of each table that's available, and it has a score cap to it. So once you reach that score cap, the game's over, but it gives you a chance to fill out the table and see if it's something you want to purchase. And that's a really cool feature so that you can build the library that you want for your personal virtual arcade. There are online leaderboards, so you can see how well you're performing against other players on a specific table, and there's tournaments to go through as well. It does support off TV play, so you can enjoy it on the gamepad while someone else is occupying the television. But of course, it does look great on an HD TV. The graphics for this game is great. They do a great job of replicating these classic pinball games, capturing all the details, all the sounds, all the behaviors. You can even jostle the table. Of course, you can do it too much and then go into full tilt. So it does give you a very realistic feel of playing these actual games in a virtual space, which I really respect. The controls are very responsive and smooth, very well done, and the audio sounds great. And some of the classic tables from like back in the early 80s and so forth has that kind of classic, like muted or boxy kind of sound to it to give that vintage vibe to it. So it really builds up the atmosphere of playing each individual table quite well. Now, looking over the entire library that they offer, there is a ton available. So it really has something for everyone, and you can build that very personalized library that you want of the specific tables that you want. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot to discuss about this. I mean, the graphics are what they are. You can see the gameplay footage right here in the background of the video on the gamepad screen. The controls are very well done, and like with any pinball machine, it's not very complex. You have what you have. You have your plunger to shoot the ball out, you have the paddles to make the ball hit the target and keep the ball in play, and you have the ability to jostle the table and hopefully not tilt it, but get that ball back into play if it looks like it's going to fall out of play. But this is honestly one of the best video game representations of pinball that I've ever played. The tables are great. There's a wide variety of classic tables that we've all known and loved. If you're a big pinball fan, you're going to feel right at home with this. It's going to throw you back. If you're somebody like me who's been playing pinball since the late 80s, early 90s, it's going to give you that hint of nostalgia and everything like that. But if you're a pinball connoisseur, you're going to really dig this. It plays well. There's plenty of recognizable tables from the top manufacturers of pinball machines throughout the history of pinball with a lot of cool flair. I mean, the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, it's based on the movie with Robert De Niro. But the cool thing about it for me is that background music is Edgar Winter's Frankenstein. It's like one of the best rock instrumentals of all time. It's such a great song. But hands down, a great game. The best, in my opinion, the best video game version of pinball that I've had on a console. I love it. If you're a fan of pinball, this is definitely a game to get. And, we're only 5 seasons into it, and there's going to be more. Who knows how much more? But there's a lot of different tables to already choose from, and there's more coming out. I mean, season 5 table pack hasn't even been completed yet. So, in my opinion, two thumbs up, must own, great game, obviously, for those who are big pinball fans. And that will do it for this episode of the Strictly Nintendo podcast. Until the next one, take care.